The most inspiring AI image project to me is this one from John Kelly, a photographer who in 2023 created a project he called Boring American Photorealism. And basically, his concept was to use the AI image generators of the time to create, in his words, the kind of boring images that might be quickly scrolled past on Facebook. Now, this is surprisingly hard to do. If you've worked with an AI image generator, you know that they really love to create dramatic, super saturated, exciting images, and creating something boring, something that looks like it was taken on a real cell phone, the kinds of photos that we all create on a day-to-day basis, is actually really difficult on these systems, particularly the older ones. And he did a really incredible job, but it apparently took him thousands of tries to create each of these images. And the systems really haven't gotten any better at creating these kinds of boring images, but it's a great test for these systems because it kind of reveals how far they're able to stray from their training data. And really the reason that these systems create such dramatic and powerful and, very saturated images is that that's the kind of stuff people often post on Instagram. The stuff that's in your photo reel that you took on your phone, you're not necessarily going to post it. You're going to post that crazy, beautiful, probably filtered photo from your vacation. And so that's what these systems train on, and it's what they tend to reproduce. And even a very powerful system like a diagram, it's the most recent version of it. If I ask for a boring cell phone photo taken in 2017 of people waiting in line at the DMV, it still creates something that's so dramatic. Like, look at her, she's standing there with this pose, and everybody's beautiful, everything's perfectly lit. There's like different kinds of people. The businessman who's texting on the phone, and she's carrying this it's like so dramatic, and that's not what I'm looking for at all. But this is really exciting. OpenAI's new 4o Image Generation system is a system that can finally make a boring AI image, and we'll get to why that's important. But first, let me show you the experiment that I did here. So what I did in order to create this was I took advantage of the fact that 4o is able to take in an image as part of the prompt. It's a true native multimodal model, which means that you can hand it an image and text for your prompt, and it can work from both of those instead of just using the image as a style reference. So I have uploaded a genuine, boring, well, I think it's cute because it's got my dog in it, but photo of me taken on a cell phone in 2017. You've got the aesthetic of that time period. It's poorly lit. The dynamic range is not very good. Like, this is blown out, and the shadows don't have a lot of detail in them. The aesthetic is like that, very too close selfie and that kind of stuff. So I asked it to make a selfie of friends at a bar in the same visual style. Now, the first version is decent. It tried to create me. I think that's a little bit terrifying. I hope my hairline's not receding quite as much as it is in that photo. But the cool thing, again, with 4o, though, is that you can actually ask it to refine the image. So it can take the image it created and it can basically rework it. And that's, again, something that it's hard to get like Midjourney or a Diagram or other image generators to do. So I said, okay, good, but I want the aesthetic of the original to come through. So it did that. I think this is much closer. Like, it's that very, like, kind of blurry in the background. Like, there's a random person there that probably shouldn't be. The lighting is kind of stark and not great. Like, here the lighting's still really soft and nice, and here it's like the shadows are just too much. So this is much closer, but I didn't want me. That wasn't really the goal. I wanted to create boring images. So I said, okay, great. Visual style, you've nailed it, basically. Keep the visual style. So let's make an image of people waiting in line at the DMV. And here is its image. And this, I would say, is quite good. It is really boring. It is really generic. The colors are drab. The stuff's not great focus. It's very realistic, but it nails that particular aesthetic. And again, contrast that with this image from a Diagram for basically the same prompt. It's so beautiful and so well lit that people are so, they look like actors. And here, this is, I think, much closer to reflecting reality. So that's very, very exciting. And again, I'll kind of get into that more. I asked for some more of them. So I asked for a kid's birthday party photo, again, pretty common. And initially, it created something that was a little bit too produced. I said, no, not a posed one. Just the kind of poorly taken photo of the kids singing happy birthday around the cake, like a parent snapped on their cell phone. That, I would believe, is real. That looks like the kind of photo you take at a party. Everybody's in the middle of blowing the candles out. It's badly lit. It's got a beige wall in the background. It's not very well composed. This is really perfect, basically. Exactly the visual style I was going for here. There's nothing dramatic or interesting about this photo whatsoever. And again, that's kind of the point. I asked for parents chatting on the sideline of their kid's soccer game. Again, like, these people look like actors. They don't look real. I mean, they look real, but they don't look like normal people. So I said, great, but make them more like the typical American. This seems a lot better to me. Like, I would believe, again, that this is an actual photo. So basically, Ideogram, Midjourney, they create beautiful photos, but this new system from OpenAI, the 4o Image Generation, does an incredible job at creating boring photos. And again, why is that important? Well, these systems are trained on those kind of produced beautiful photos. So when they're able to deviate from that training data and actually create a photo in the style of the prompt that you've put in, it indicates that they've learned to extrapolate away from that. They've learned to make an abstract kind of representation of what's in their training data, but not necessarily just to follow the patterns in it. They basically learned from the training data rather than just duplicating it. And that's a huge step. The ability to interpret a prompt, the ability to take the visual training data and move beyond it to create something that honors the intent of that prompt is a new capability in image generation. So although, these images are probably, not going to get used for anything in the real world, like, you could just take something like this yourself on your cell phone, the fact that we finally have an image generator that can create things like this tells me that this is something new, and people are going to find incredible uses for it because of its ability to move beyond its training data and its ability to understand the prompt, to dialogue about it, to correct its errors, to work from existing images. All of that is captured in the process of creating boring images. If you found this useful or helpful in any way, please do like and subscribe. It really helps.